If you want to make the perfect homemade biscuits, skip the mixing bowl. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today we're gonna make homemade biscuits. I'm gonna make them in the air fryer of the Ninja Combi, but you could also make this same recipe and bake them in your oven. Either way, they turn out perfect. They are soft, fluffy, and absolutely delicious. And guess what? They don't take much more time than just popping in the frozen kind. So, few ingredients, a few minutes, and we have homemade biscuits. But the secret is find a flat sort of container like this one instead of a mixing bowl. And I'll go over why in just a few minutes. Let's get our ingredients in. So what we have here is 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And then I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of fine ground sea salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm gonna talk about that in a minute too, because there's some reasons you wouldn't use it. And I'll go over that in a minute. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we're gonna add that to our flour and then just give that a quick little stir to combine all the ingredients. Now, these are just a traditional buttermilk biscuit, and the reason why I'm using baking soda is because I'm using the buttermilk. If you were going to replace the buttermilk with another type of liquid, because you absolutely can, you're gonna omit the baking soda and maybe add another 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. But this gives the best texture and the best browning because baking soda helps with the browning as well of the biscuits. So they turn out just absolutely beautiful. Now, to this mixture, we are gonna add 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of very cold grated butter. And I do that by just sitting this right in here. And you could use the little side, but I use the bigger side because I feel like it gives a nicer shred. I'm gonna show you how to mix in the butter too, because that is another secret to the best biscuits. And then just grate the butter in. Now, I will tell you, if your butter is frozen, you can do this, but it will start to break off pretty easily. So leave it out for about 5 minutes or so before you grate it if it's in the freezer. This was just out of the refrigerator and it's working out fine. Now, if you've made biscuits before, you know that it's very important that you don't overwork the dough and that you don't soften the butter too much. So we work kind of quickly after we grate this butter. And I'm gonna show you my tip for making sure we don't overwork the butter. Now, very, very gently, toss it and break it up, toss it in the flour. You want every single piece of these little shreds of butter to be coated in the flour. That is gonna protect it from when we start to work with our dough. If you don't have a grater, you can certainly use a vegetable peeler. You could also just cube it in small cubes. That's perfectly fine. All right, now we're gonna stop here and we're gonna start to add our liquid in. Now, you might be wondering why I said skip the mixing bowl, and this is the reason. So many times when you add in liquid to the mixing bowl, it does not hydrate the flour correctly because it kind of keeps all the flour at the bottom very dry. And then you end up either under adding liquid or over adding. And that is important when you're making biscuits. You want the dough just to come together, because if you get it into like a really like a dough ball like you would when you're making bread or something, it's gonna be really tough and we don't want that. So start out by measuring out 3/4 cup of buttermilk for this recipe. You can substitute it with other things though. And add in 1/2 cup and go right across the top, just like that. We're gonna leave about 1/4 cup. You don't have to be exact, but don't dump it all in. And then mix it up just like this. Then we will judge whether or not we need to add some more. And you're gonna add 1 tablespoon at a time until the dough comes together. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I test for that. Right now, it's important, get in those corners, bring everything to the center. This is why a shallow, like 9 by 13 kind of Tupperware dish would work fine. This is just what I have because I use it when I make bread dough. Works great because you can get around into the corners. You can see all the loose flour. Bring it in just like this. and we can really judge how our dough is going to be, how it's going to feel, I should say. All right, scrape that off. I can tell it's a little dry, but what you want to do to test it, and we're only going to do this once, well, we're going to do it twice, is squeeze it together. And it is still too dry, which I could tell by looking at it. So now we're going to add 1 tablespoon at a time and keep doing that until it gets to the right texture. And don't worry if you end up using all 3/4 of a cup, that's fine. It just means that your flour needed a little bit more hydration, and that's fine. It changes. Like, I think I'm going to need all of it, so we're going to go ahead and put all of it in. When you still see a bunch of loose flour at the bottom, that's your indicator that you don't have enough liquid. And just finish this up. So I ended up with 3/4 of a cup of the buttermilk. And on other test batches, I've only used like a half plus maybe 1 tablespoon. So it will vary. It's one of those recipes where you go by looks and feel more than absolute measurements. Okay, now we're gonna bring it together. Now another thing is if you don't have a container like this, you can do all of it on your cutting board. I just end up making a mess, so I try to keep it into this container. Now just bring it up from the bottom. This is kind of like when we knead dough. And push it back down together. This is looking perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Now we're gonna stop working it. We're gonna get it out onto our cutting board, and then we're going to roll it out. These are rolled biscuits. If you didn't want to make rolled biscuits, you could certainly just pinch them off and, kind of make them however you want. But these are rolled biscuits, and I'm making them for some breakfast sandwiches, and they are so delicious. Now we're going to transfer this dough onto our cutting board, just like that, and get everything else out. We're going to put that right on top. So what I like to do is just sort of press it down a little bit here before we start to roll. It's gonna look crackly and all that stuff. That is normal. Absolutely normal. If you see a lot of flour, you can kind of press it in. So now I've got a disc here, and now I'm gonna take it and gently flip it over, and it should stay together, and it did. And that's another indicator that our biscuit dough is correctly hydrated. All right, so we're gonna roll this out now into a rectangular shape. And the height of the dough will determine how high your biscuits are. So if you're making something like a breakfast sandwich, you might wanna go to a 1/2 of an inch. If you're making something like, you're serving them, just with some jelly and stuff, you might want to make your height 3/4 of an inch. Now, of course, your yield is going to be different. I'm going to do mine, and I rotate it just like this. I'm going to do mine probably about 3/4 of an inch. I don't know. I want to make breakfast sandwiches, so maybe I'll just do 1/2 of an inch. But I'll show you the difference because I've got some that I did both ways. And just tidy up those corners a little bit. Before I cut these out, we need to preheat the Ninja Combi. This time and temperature will work with most air fryers. The reason why I'm using the Ninja Combi is because of the surface area that I have, and I love using it for this. If you have a smaller air fryer, you just won't be able to make all of your biscuits at one time. 400 degrees, and this is important, we are going to preheat on 400, but we are not going to air fry them on 400 because they get too brown too fast in this small air fryer, even though it's kind of a large air fryer. Now, they take about, I would say, 8 to 10 minutes. So we are going to preheat for 10 minutes. You could push it to just 5. I've done that and it works fine. But 10 minutes of preheat. So actually, usually I preheat before I roll out my dough. But we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Now, your biscuit cutter. I really recommend having some sort of a metal-edged biscuit cutter. It's gonna give you the cleanest cut. When you have a clean cut that doesn't drag down your dough, that's how you get those really nice flaky layers. You go straight down, do not twist, do not hesitate. We just punch them out. I'm using a 3-inch biscuit cutter, but you could use a 4-inch. Again, your yield will be different. So it depends on how big you want your biscuits to be. Straight down. I know a lot of people say you can use a glass, but honestly, a glass is not going to give you this kind of an edge. So pick up some biscuit cutters. Lightly press it out. Go as close to this one as you can. Straight down. Now, one thing is I didn't make this side quite big enough to put the third one there. That's okay. We're going to improvise because this is going to happen to you at home. There we go. I even measured off camera. I even measured, so it's okay. So I'm getting about 4. And I'm going to show you how to then repurpose your biscuit dough without overworking it, because again, we run that risk, right? Okay, so we need 2 more biscuits. Now that one just kind of stayed in there, so I'm going to put it right there. Now we're going to gently move this away from the biscuits and just sort of put them right over on the side here. All right, there we go. Let me put that right there. Now, we don't want to work this dough, but we need it to come back together for our other 2 biscuits. So just sort of bring it back together gently, gently, gently. So don't knead it or anything like that. You can fold it over. That is perfectly fine. And then just pat it down again, flip it. All right, now, not gonna look as pretty, but if you overwork it and make a smooth top, you're gonna end up having some tough biscuits. All right, straight down. These are actually gonna be bigger. Look at that, those are definitely 3/4 of an inch. There we go. And now you could definitely take this one and make a last little biscuit, but it's going to be denser, okay? But you can do it, of course. You don't want to throw it away. And I'll cook this one up too, just so you can see the difference. And then I'll put a couple in the freezer because we can only get 6 comfortably in the Ninja Combi at once. There we go. All right, we've been preheating for just about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to transfer these to the combi pan. And what I have in here is the rack with the combi pan, just like this. And I've tried it with parchment and without. I like them better without parchment. I like the way that the bottom cooks a little bit better, but either way works fine. You can set them right down in the combi here. This is the one that I did that was the last one. So I'm gonna put it straight in the middle there. Well, maybe not, because there we go. If I put it straight in the middle, I won't be able to get the other one in. And then there, right there. Okay, 6 biscuits going in. Now, remember, I said we're not cooking at 400 degrees, so we need to lower this heat. We're gonna go to 375. And what this does, because you might say, oh, that's a little fussy. I'm just gonna cook it. I'm gonna preheat at 375, or I'm gonna cook at 400 or whatever. You absolutely can do that. But I found during my testing that this was the best way to do it, because the hot oven at 400 degrees when you put it in, or the air fryer, starts to really get the rise on those biscuits. But if you continually cook at that temperature, they're gonna become too dark. And you don't want that, right? We don't want them too dark. Although they are still delicious. They're not burned or anything. So this combination of bumping it down to 375 but preheating on 400 gives the best results. All right, so we just have 1 minute left. I'm going the full 10 minutes on 375 Fahrenheit. And I just wanted to show you how I set this up to put it in the freezer. I like to put the biscuit on a piece of parchment paper, pop it into the freezer. Now you don't need a big tray like this. You could put it on a plate. Pop it into the freezer. When it is completely frozen, then you will put them into a bag, okay, a freezer bag. And then you can store them and you can air fry them from frozen and they are delicious. I will have those instructions on my written post. Usually I will either bake up maybe just 2 and then freeze the rest because honestly, I think freshly baked biscuits taste so much better than if you have them the day after. The moment of truth. And they are gorgeous. Oh my gosh, look at that. They are beautiful. Do they look store-bought? No. Because they're not. You made them at home. They're beautiful and they're irregular, and that is perfect. All right, so now you can go right in and break one open and slather it with butter. That's fine. But I like to give them just a little bit of a rest on the cooling rack. And let me show you the underside too, so you can see. They're absolutely perfect. Just because sometimes, especially with these taller ones, the middle just needs a few more minutes to set up and finish cooking. Oh my gosh, these are so perfect. So these thinner ones are gonna be for breakfast sandwiches. And I'm gonna go ahead and taste this one because this was the last one that I did. I should probably put it closer to me. And it has the most chance of being tough. So if that one is good, they are all gonna be good. All right. We're done. We can turn that off. So just give them just about a minute. And then I'm serving my biscuit today with my homemade mango jalapeno jam. And it is so delicious. And it's a little sweet and a little savory and just a tad bit spicy. It's going to go perfect with these Southern style biscuits. And of course, butter. Salted butter, by the way. This is the sign of a good biscuit. You can see all the layers. You just know it's going to be flaky, tender, and delicious. This biscuit I made yesterday, and it is picture perfect. In fact, it's going to be part of the picture. This one I made 3/4 of an inch. Some of these came close, like this one, but it doesn't really look the same because it was that last one that I did. The rest of them were between 1/2 of an inch and 3/4. So they're not quite as tall as this one. This is what you're gonna get when you cut them 3/4 inch thickness, okay? It's gonna be like this, which is beautiful to serve. But honestly, if you're gonna put sausage and egg on it, you're gonna have a sandwich that's this tall. So I like to go thinner for the breakfast sandwiches and thicker if I'm serving them with jam and jelly. All right, let's do it. All right, so perfect biscuit should break apart and should break apart in layers. Now this one's gonna be a little, well, it's working, but this one might be a little, oh, it worked though. Look at that. Oh my God, that's perfect. Even though it's the most worked of the bunch, that is so perfect. Probably could have cooled just a minute longer, but that's okay. Now my favorite part is the top. So that's what I'm gonna do. Well, let me break this open here too. Oh my gosh, flaky. Tender. Oh, that's good. That is really good. All right, now for my favorite part. A little bit of butter, or a lot. I don't need that much though. All right, put that over there. And the jam. Oh my gosh. If you have never made homemade biscuits before, please give them a try. They are super easy. 10 minutes to make the dough, 10 minutes to air fry them or bake them in the oven. They might take 12 minutes in the oven. And you have the best homemade biscuits. Oh my gosh. Or if you've made biscuits and you haven't had great success, give this recipe a try. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my goodness, that's so good. You just have to make them. See for yourself.